seconds a test. Pushing hard to put the car to the test. Faster, faster, no time to waste. Grip the wheel, can't lose the race. In the rear view, I see the pack, but I'm ahead, and there's no looking back. Turn the wheel, feel the G-force snap. In the zone, no time for a nap. Racing hard, we never slow down. GT3s win the showdown. Core, baby, hear the tires scream. We're racing for glory, chasing that dream. In GT3, we're burning up the track. No looking back, we're never turning back. Le Mans breakdown, let's hear the roar. GT3s, who could want more? Pedal to the metal, we take the fight. Le Mans, baby, we own the night. Oh yeah. The roar of the engine, the burn of the rubber. Chasing the glory, we ain't no lover. Pushing the limits, we're breaking the chains. In the heat of the moment, we run through the flames. Yeah, we're rolling through the night. Every corner, every fight. Speed's our religion, Le Mans our shrine. GT3s, it's our time to shine. We're crushing the game, Le Mans in our sights. Remember our name, GT3s, we rise from the start. So turning back, Le Mans breakdown, let's hear the roar. GT3s, who could want more? Pedal to the metal, we take the fight. Le Mans, baby, we own the night. Yo, GT3, we own that track. Le Mans, baby, there's no looking back. Le Mans, big to know we rise to the top. In GT3, we can't be stopped. Yeah, we can't be stopped. Yo, it's race day, get ready to go. GT3's on the track, let's put on a show. Core, baby, we're hitting the gas. Pedal to the floor, don't look back, don't crash. Lights out, engine scream, we're rolling. GT3's got the power we're holding. Lap after lap, feeling the heat. Hold tight, no time for defeat. On the straights, the speed is insane. Chasing down the rivals, we own this game. Through the chicanes, we're taking those turns. One slip, one crash, and you crash and burn. Turn the wheel, feel the G-force snap. In the zone, no time for a nap. Racing hard, we never slow down. GT3s win the showdown. Core, baby, hear the tires scream. We're racing for glory, chasing that dream. In GT3, we're burning up the track. No looking back, we're never turning back. Core, baby, let's hear the roar. GT3s, who could want more? Pedal to the metal, we take the fight. Core, baby, we own the night. Midnight headlights pierce the dark. We're locked in the fight, ready to spark. A lap of legends, every second's a test. Pushing hard to put the car to the test. Faster, faster, no time to waste. Grip the wheel, can't lose the race. In the rear view, I see the pack, but I'm ahead, and there's no looking back. Turn the wheel, feel the G-force snap. In the zone, no time for a nap. Racing hard, we never slow down. GT3s win the showdown. Core, baby, hear the tires scream. We're racing for glory, chasing that dream. In GT3, we're burning up the track. No looking back, we're never turning back. Le Mans breakdown, let's hear the roar. GT3s, who could want more? Pedal to the metal, we take the fight. Le Mans, baby, we own the night. Oh yeah. The roar of the engine, the burn of the rubber. Chasing the glory, we ain't no lover. Pushing the limits, we're breaking the chains. In the heat of the moment, we run through the flames. Yeah, we're rolling through the night. Every corner, every fight. Speed's our religion, Le Mans our shrine.
Welcome everyone tonight to the Core GT season number 10. This is round 8 coming at you from virtual Circuit Spa de Francorchamps. That's the French countryside pretty much. Well, Belgian really, but
that came out pretty good. Nice.
I've watched enough F1 and heard them say this one. But I got Tyler here in the booth tonight, and looking at it, it's a little wet out there.
Just a little bit, you know. It's not. I don't know. Is it rain? It's not currently raining, but these drivers are gonna have some decisions to make. I mean, obviously, it looks like the track's getting dry here, but the question will be, when will it be dry tires?
So currently looking at Mason here starting his, I believe, second lap. And going down the Kimmel straight, there's definitely some spray coming off the back of that Acura. So currently fast lap of a 2:39.68. Schwartz is running behind Ricky Renner there. So, and then our fearless leader of Core here, Carl Handwork, making his one-off appearance tonight. So, Carl is quite quick at Spa. However, he does have a tendency to pick up off tracks. So that'll be something to keep an eye on here tonight. Have a few new faces in here. David Tilford coming back to run his one race. And then we have us. Where is he here? Yep. The pink Rexy iRacing Porsche there, Dane Simpson. That car has a tendency to be a little hungry. May have another car's bumper in its mouth before the end of the night. Would not be the first time. So they have about 3 minutes left. So anybody that's wanting to get another lap in needs to be going across that line pretty close to now. Looks like trying to see who's going to be on a good hot lap. Let's pull Schwartz in here. Schwartz running the McLaren tonight. So a bunch of Acuras here. We got some McLarens. Your top 8 are in either McLaren or Acura. Nathan Nickerson in the Porsche there. And then Bronson Stafford. Well, he's currently in the pit lane, but an Audi in a wet Spa, that's kind of a... he's asking for some punishment. Maybe a little bit of a masochist. Although not as bad as running a Mustang here. I'm pretty sure there's no more rain forecasted for the rest of the session the last time I looked.
And the drivers love that.
Yeah. Well, the problem is when it dries off, that Mustang has a bad tendency to immediately shred a set of wet tires. Looking through here, everybody currently on the wets. We can even... this works sometimes. Let's see. Tire compound. Boop, if I do that. Yep. And STK is currently showing, yes, everybody is on the wets. So that'll be interesting to keep track of here tonight. Let's see who's got because the crossover point, maybe pitting a little bit earlier to grab a set of dries. We may see him at the first pit stop. Probably definitely going to see him at the second. But after last week, seeing Schwartz do that early quick pit, maybe it's one of those things. If you try to squeeze one extra lap out of that tank, you may make the crossover to dries on your first pit stop, and that could be a huge boon.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge difference. Everyone probably knows up to this point that the tires on wet or slicks, it makes a world of differences. So, it's hard to tell. Sometimes I bet some drivers don't want to be the first one on dries because, they don't want to be the only one, and maybe it doesn't work. That's the fun part about the decisions, but then at the same time, if it's dry enough and you're the only one on dry tires, oh boy, you could win the race that way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That would be, your transition point you're talking about. Sometime, I'd say it's an easy 4 or 5 seconds on some tracks, but looks like qualifying is over. Looks like it killed it at the 10-minute mark pretty quickly there. Nobody else still running some laps. All right, and we've got the ability to pull our grid up here. Mason Smith bringing home a pole here tonight with that 2:39.023. Starting alongside him will be Jonathan Schwartz. Carl Handwork up in third. Ricky Renner in fourth. Dave Tilford will be starting in fifth. And then Justin Munsell in sixth. Then Jimmy Covert in seventh. Jack Peterson will be starting in eighth. And let's see. Just got to scroll our grid a little here. Oh, one too many. Elijah Brandel will be in ninth. Nathan Nickerson in 20th. I always want to call it Nick Nickerson after seeing that for so many years. 11th will be Bronson Stafford. Nick Terrell in 12th. Nathan Sides will be starting in 13th. Tim Thompson, starting in 14th. 15th will be Braden Carlson. 16th, Alexander Hamrick. And then a few more. Alex Jaspers in 17th, Alan Gullison in 18th. Ian Howard, one of our rookies, he hasn't made his 5th race just yet. I think this will be the one that he gets put in a division. In 19th, Josh Anderson in 20th. That is our sponsor for this series, Chase Decals. So make sure to check them out if you need a little sign work. They do that. 21st will be Jacob Winslow. I believe he has a relation to Colin Winslow, who I've seen run over in CSRL and occasionally runs with us in some things. So something to look out for there. In 21st, Shane Theron in 22nd. 23rd, Jesse Francisco. 24th will be Dane Simpson. A bunch of these guys appear not getting lap times. I'm guessing they had some off tracks. 25th will be Josh Betts. James Molyneux in 26th. Brandon Mateo in 27th. William Burrell, back from his surgery, will be in 28th. 29th, Robert Kinney, and 30th, John Crane. So that is a full field we have going here tonight. And if the stream looks a little jerky, it's not the stream. It's kind of my computer having to deal with 30 cars, rain, and the new track Spa. So with the GPU shortage, trying to acquire a 5080 or 5090 has not been easy, nor do I have the money at the moment.
Well, I got the race up to save you in the background if something bad happens.
So, go on with Mason here as they make their way around, and it was working in practice today. Track map is functional again. I found there's a specific order things have to be opened in to make it functional. But as these guys are coming around here, let's jump on the tail. Yeah, that's what the field is saying. Now, let's hop in with Robert King here at 30th. Let's do the... Let's see. Let's find somebody who's a little bit more... You can already see how much spray is building up, and this is just the pace lap with these guys running 20, 30, 40 miles an hour. But as Mason comes through the bus stop here,
let's do this.
Yep, straight away you see Barney over there on the left, I believe. Not having the flag out. Oh, no, that's right. Barney is not there. That is just a track worker. Because the start line is around the corner.
God, that's frustrating. I've done that a few. I've done that. I feel like I'm ready to mash the throttle, but no, not yet.
Yep. Coming around out of here, you see the pace car. This is a very long pit lane too, and very easy to smack that wall.
Oh yeah, that's my least favorite part about this pit lane. That little
and it's green. Right, they're off.
All right, let's do this. Woo! Oh gosh, Eau Rouge. Let's see how this goes. Lap 1. Okay, so far.
I think everyone made it through Radion.
Nice. Yep,
but
they did.
Schwartz out to a lead here. I'm wondering if Mason possibly get a little bit of a slow one.
A little uncomfortable so far.
Schwartz out to a nice little lead there. Ricky Renner on the back door of Mason.
So all looks pretty good.
Oh, somebody
never mind.
Back there. We'll have to look at that. But
it looks like Allen.
Oh, got another one. I believe that's the Nathan
is that
Sides.
Dane? Oh, Nathan.
It's hard to see when they start scrolling really quick by. Oh, a little bit there.
Oh gosh.
I saw that was a Lambo, I think. I believe that was
Dane
Jacob
almost
Winslow.
wrecked. Oh, he is in the grass. Oh my gosh.
And it's going to be Puan stick it on there. He's on the outside. Oh, it's going to be very, very slick out there. But everybody being respectful. Ooh, little side shot from the 20th. Oh, that would be 27. I think that was. Ooh.
Whoa, Mateo locked up the brakes a little bit, but he's going to get it rolling on the outside right here of Josh Anderson and makes the pass.
Dane just getting used up a little.
Yeah, he is.
You know, aggression to the Canadians, maybe.
Not pretty. That's for sure.
Check back in there. Coming through Blanchimont, we have this, and let's hop in with Mason just so you can see this here. There's what Mason can see. And then we'll go back here. As you get further back in the pack, it's real hard to find that braking marker.
Yeah. You know, even though it isn't currently raining, the only guy with a good sight is Jonathan Schwartz, because he's got nothing really. You don't even have the wipers going. Everybody else behind has rain all over the place.
I'm gonna sit in here with Francisco for a minute and let him go up at Rouge, and just that way you can see going up there what these guys a little further back in the pack have to actually see.
Whoa, we almost missed the corner.
Oh yeah, traction control not happy in that McLaren. It is not an easy car to get off from a slow corner. But as you can already see, as that speed picks up, you know, it's hard to make the braking, or make your, not braking marker there necessarily, but hard to find your turn-in spot.
Especially when you have all the spray all over the place.
Hopping in with Ian Howard here, and you barely see the light blinking in front of you. You know, you're looking for that braking marker, and overcooks a little bit. Just
a little.
So, just proof it is not easy for these guys here tonight.
The switch over by Jaspers. See if he can get out brake. He does.
Yep.
Oh, he's gonna do a slide jump. Oh, spin in front.
That is it was moving a little quick. I couldn't quite see.
It looked like it's Alexander Hamrick. Nice little move. Molyneux to the inside of Francisco now. Gosh, they're all over the place. Oh, they hit. Oh, Francisco. Oh, he goes wide. Whoa, two cars in front of him just went wide, too. There goes Howard.
Jaspers and Francisco. Okay, that's just when they say
Oh, big hit. Oh, huge wreck. Oh, my gosh.
I'm trying to click on it, and it's just... Oh, yes.
Howard.
Oh.
Mateo. Hamrick. Oh, my goodness.
I think Molyneux may be involved in this one, too.
About 4 things just happened at once. I don't know what Ian Howard's trying to do.
There's enough going on. I can't click on it.
Hold on. Holy cow. What in the world? It was all by Ian Howard. He got sideways on the left-hander, and then he tried to save it, and then somebody ran into the back of him and just caused a huge pile-up. I think it was Hamrick.
Up here at the front, we have Schwartz, Mason, Renner, and Handwork all in this little 4-pack. Handwork going for a move down the inside of the source.
Wow, he went below the curve there.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to make the same pass that what was it? Max Verstappen tried to make on cause some contact in front a while back. Oh, Ricky!
No!
Oh, he gotten away with that. Let's hop inside. Let's see how that wheel's looking. No, he did not get away with this. No. He is sawing at that wheel. That's going to be hard to get back to the pits for Ricky Renner there.
The right rear looks pretty bent up.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep it straight. And I bet when he hits the brakes here, we're going to...
He did all right. It's fine.
He's doing all right. He's just having a... Oh, yeah, you can see that right rear is pushed in a little. But that has given Mason a little bit of breathing room for Carl behind. So So, you know, if Carl can't close that gap up a little bit, the next time they hit the Kimmel straight, he's going to get left in the dust.
Oh, I just saw Jesse Francisco disconnected. He had a big hit. I just looked.
Yeah,
Gosh.
he did.
And it stems from that spin by Ian Howard.
Yeah, it's one of those things when it's raining like this, like in CSRL the last night. Oh, that was.
Oh, that's Carl. He's around.
What happened? Quit moving. There we go.
It looks like he just lost it all by himself.
Yep, coming out of Puan, the back end slid out. If you could get rid of this one corner, in Spa, I would love Spa. Oh, it's Braden Carlson in the 20. Ooh.
I just scrolled back and he did the exact same thing as Carl did in the exact same spot.
It's one of those reasons. If I'm coming to Spa, I'm probably coming in the Merc. It'll be front wheel drive.
Yeah, good point.
So looking through here, let's see who's doing really well. Jimmy Covert, the highest placing silver here, having a little off track there maybe, but having to go around Ricky, I believe there.
Looks like he kind of took a little bit of an evasive move, which was pretty.
Looks like he's trying to make a move there on the inside of Peterson.
Trying to.
Let's see. He's going to move out of the spray over there on the right. That's not to make a move. That's just trying to find his braking marker. And then he's going to... thought about the inside. He's got it. This is a drag race.
Not quite. He'll beat him up to Eau Rouge.
He probably found himself a puddle.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's your other problem. Jimmy taking that tighter line there.
He's going to lose it on exit, unfortunately. Peterson got a better runoff.
Yeah, but now he's got the draft. As Hamilton would say, give me the big suck. So he pops out. I don't think it's to make the pass. I think it's just to see the braking marker again.
Little bit of a defensive entry there. Kind of hurt him on exit. Peterson doing pretty well there on exit as well.
Back here. Hop in with Carl. Let's see if that steering wheel it's looking straight. Car doesn't look too hurt.
It looked like he got him mostly slowed down before he made contact, so it didn't seem like it affected that bad. A little wide there.
Yeah, maybe missing a little bit of downforce. And Dane Simpson up 11 spots through all the chaos here. So good job for Dane coming back here tonight with us. Josh Betts also, he's up 13 spots, so amazing start for Betts.
Not a good run so far. How about even Justin Munsell running in the podium spot right now? Ran pretty good in Xfinity the other night at Coda too.
Yeah, definitely not just a one-trick pony with him there.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's got quite a bit of a gap by himself, but still.
Mr. Silent and Consistent here, Dave Tilford, in fourth. Yeah, not running far off the pace. The guys in the front running 239s. Dave running a 240. But then everyone else after Dave at 241, 242, 243. A 3-minute, well, that's Carl with his spin. 243s, 242s, 257, that's Braden. 244, Shane. Yeah, you just see that we get a bunch of guys running that 242, 243 range. So there's definitely going to be some racing going on the whole time here. But that is Shane Therrett, and he is not in a Mustang. I wonder if his NASCAR team knows.
Conflict of interest.
But getting going there. A little bit of a battle here between Alex and Carl Handwerk. Carl getting around Alex here, it's going to look like. So, Carl definitely still has some pace on it. Looking like his last lap, managing a 239. So That's a good thing about the rain. If you do hit the wall, it generally doesn't impart a ton of energy into the car, so you can get away with a little mistake here and there. Dane Simpson in the draft of Josh Betts is going to take a look here at the end of the Kimmel. It's different lines. Yeah, it's one of those things, like in a complex like that, I know the off the normal racing line has more grip and can be faster, but God, is it so hard to run. You know, this big long sweeper just being a little on the outside will do it. Not a big deal.
Yeah, that's plenty. That's the tricky part, especially when it's raining so much, adding so many more questions into everything.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, you know, with iRacing's updates, they've brought all the debris onto the track. I can hear that in the background.
Don't even get me started.
Well, I'm sure you heard plenty of gravel on Tuesday night in that Xfinity.
Oh my god, yeah. I was in the gravel most of the time.
Yeah, there were a few guys who had a few off tracks.
Actually, that's a lie. I wasn't really in the gravel. I was just mainly facing the other direction on the racetrack twice.
Ooh. Dane getting a close call with Josh Betts with the Porsche doing Porsche things.
Phew. You couldn't even slip a paper in between them.
So that's 12 spots for Dane. That's your biggest gain out of anyone. Looks like he's gonna, judging by his last lap pace, was a 1/10 of a second quicker than his fellow Canadian Alex Jaspers. Although something has happened to Bronson Stafford, our other Canadian here.
Ooh, Jaspers is off the racetrack. Might be all right. Simpson blinking
up on replay. Oh, touched the inside that little puddle there at Blanchimont. Tapped the wall with the rear of the car. Let's see, how bad is his steering wheel looking? It's looking okay, so it looks like he got away with that one.
Yeah, I think he's all right.
Oop, a little blink out of Simpson there. Guess that's that subpar Canadian internet. But as you can see, they're still crashing over the curb there at the top of Redion.
They're crashing everywhere.
Nathan Nickerson managed to get that Porsche up to 5th overall.
Good start. Up 5 spots. Not bad.
Although fastest lap, last lap, Ricky Renner, 138.5.
Well, he's got a little bit of gap to go.
Oh yeah, but that also tells me that the tires, it's there are still wet spots on the track, but there's also some spots that are tearing into the tires. Because we're just 5.5 laps in, and if he's got that kind of pace advantage on, you know,
everyone.
Yeah, well, Jonathan and Mason running 139s, 140s. This year. But checking back up here, you can see the gap between Jonathan and Mason. Jonathan out just at 1.4 seconds, that's going to put Mason out of the draft. And then you can see the gap back to Munsell, and then back to Tilford.
Question is, will there be any major fuel saving in the rain? I can't really say. I've never tried fuel saving in the rain. I don't try racing in the rain, period.
I mean, you save because it's, you know, you're not on the throttle as much. You know, and you're not. It's like driving the Xfinity car in Coda. You don't go full throttle. You know.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Physics is making you save a little bit of fuel.
Good point. So we'll see how that affects things. Again, plus it'll depend on, you know, when guys, if they want to go on the dries, which it still doesn't seem like is anywhere near.
No, there's too much spray. When that spray drops down and it just is just a stream off the tire, none coming off the diffuser, you can go dries.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't see any of it.
Yeah. And it's getting darker. So
Yeah, add to that.
yeah. We got 40 more minutes. It may not be full dark.
Yeah, but it'll be dark enough.
I thought we were going to get a little more. You know, the sun definitely going down behind the trees over there.
Mm-hmm.
See that little flash of red.
I mean, I still couldn't figure out when sundown was, but it's almost 7 o'clock in session.
Yeah, I want to say it's going to be... We'll be full dark by the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
At least, quote-unquote, twilight.
Sure.
But looking through here, where is Ricky currently? Ricky back up to 18th overall, so making his way back through the field, but it is putting him a minute, so that cost Ricky a minute on Schwartz.
Well, he still has the opportunity to make up a lot of spots because he was already past Allen, and his last lap was the 39.1. Meanwhile, the next car he's got to pass is William, who is about 4 seconds slower.
Yeah, but here's the important thing to remember. If I'm Ricky, I've got... Let's see, when did he pit? He pitted on the lap 3. So he can go 3 laps further than the guys up front. 3 laps might be the crossover point. He might manage to make it to dries and be perfectly fine, whereas 3 laps before may be too sketchy.
He could. That is very, very possible. And plus, I mean, now that I think about it, if we're looking at, you know, the amount of, you know, wet conditions that are still on the racetrack, let me see if I can find how much wind there is. Because, I mean, the more dark it gets, the colder it's going to be, obviously, and probably not going to dry as easy.
But also, we've got 28 cars still on track pounding around here, throwing all that water up in the air.
Yeah. We got about, it says about 14-mile-an-hour wind right now.
And that's going to be blowing that. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how accurate there is, but those trails are looking shorter. They're not as big.
Yeah.
You know, and these lap times, last lap, Schwartz now down on the gates. So they're picking up the pace. We're getting to that transition point. I believe a fast lap here in the dry is 2:18s, 2:19s, I think. So
Yeah, we're getting there.
yeah, somewhere, my guess says if we start seeing them turning 236s, 235s, that's going to be near that transition point, I think.
Well, keep an eye on the lap times for the leaders to see,
Showing
because
a
they're
crash
definitely
here
fastest
from Nick
cars.
Terrell.
Ooh.
The mystery machine. Oh no.
Oh no.
Why is it a crash? Oh, that's why it is. But keeps it off the wall.
Okay. Not bad.
Showing Robert Kinney going off track. A little slide there. And then dinking the wall. Let's see who else. We got a crash here out of Alexander Hamrick. What happened with him? Overcooked poo on a little bit. And yep, mid-engine car doing mid-engine car things. Brandon Mateo here in the Acura. What happened to Brandon? Down in... Oh, this may just be slowing down for La Source a little bit too much. Or not quite enough. And then having to overslow. Let's see what happened to Mr. Brandel here in the Bucky's Beaver car. Coming down into the bus stop, is that right? Yeah, just a little overshoot there. Letting Peterson by there. So not too bad. Showing an accident here for Josh Betts. What happened with Betts here? Into Puon. Porsche doing Porsche things. Whoa!
Yikes!
Giving
Oh my
the
gosh!
Audi a scare there.
Just a little.
When we go back, it's going to be a little darker.
Sure is. It's already getting. Shoot. It's quick how. It's funny how quick it turns. How dark it turns.
Well, if you take your attention on the track map, There's cars covering the whole track. The only thing that's currently empty is the Kimmel Straight.
And the leaders are lapping cars at the moment. They're only 5/10 apart. Oh, Schwartz kind of missed the line a little bit up a rouge.
3/10.
And he's got a lap car. This is probably the first time, well, not the first time, but one of the very few times so far this race where Schwartz has got a car in front of him that he's got to be careful of. Looks like it's Ian. Does he get out of the way? Yes, he does.
But, because he's offline, that's going to...
That's Mason.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know where to go. Oh, he overshoots the corner again a little bit.
Mason will go past down into this corner here. But looks like Dave Tilford having a little bit of an accident here. What happened? He had to enter pit lane after this one. Oh, he's just entering pit lane.
Okay. So I guess that's officially the mark for pit stops.
Yep. So that's 22 minutes in. That's past the point. So something to keep track of. Ricky Renner doing the fastest lap. Last lap 138.3.
Yeah, it's definitely picking up. Mason had a 38.6.
So the spray off the McLaren looking to be a little less than the spray coming off the Acura. Interesting. Although you can see coming out of that corner there, the McLaren of Schwartz still just kind of having to tiptoe a little bit, get that little rear end wiggle.
Let's see here. Good thing about these cars, the headlights are really, really strong. So even though as it's getting darker, it's still pretty good visibility-wise.
Yeah. It's good until they get in packs of one.
Oh yeah.
And then I get to see headlights, what's in front of the car, but not the car.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got HDR running, so hopefully you can see into the darkness a little better than sometimes. But looking back through here, looks like Carl Handwork trying to work on Peterson here. And Peterson and Handwork staying out. Yeah. I wondered if Carl was about to pit in there.
Yeah, I wonder. Because that was... I mean, there was no way that was going to work. That's why he's a little confused.
Although checking in here with Dane Simpson doing another lap, that puts him up into the top 10. So up 15 spots. He's about to pick up another one when he passes Nathan Nickerson here in the pits. But, you know, he'll have to pit as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
So Schwartz and Mason are coming down. I believe that's No Name.
Whoa, Schwartz!
Yeah,
Wow.
It's still too early for draws. There's no.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
And I know Schwartz is pushing. He wants to get that 1 second buffer back.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're 7/10 back, by the end of the Kimmel Straight, you're going to be back on the bumper. Mason not letting him out of his sight.
I can't tell if John is just taking those lines on purpose because it doesn't seem like his car is like playing nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's definitely running the, as they call it, karting line or the wet line.
Yeah.
You know, staying off of the dry line. But it looks like he's sliding around to get it there.
Like
and
he's
those
trying
tires
to
aren't
set
going to
up.
be happy about it.
Yeah, he's trying to set up for his exits, but most of the time it's not really working.
I mean, it's still working well enough for him to be in the lead.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. See, if Mason's close, he's going to give him the spots, another lap car. Whoa. He's going to block Jonathan a little bit. Oh, here they come.
They're both going
Here we go.
to the pits, I was going to say. So that's 9 laps. laps. Well, they're finishing their 10th lap. So the question is how close can they get, and can they get? Because one more lap from where they're at and a little bit more fuel saving would put them very close to making it on just one stop. So we may have a little bit of a strategy thing going on here.
Well, with that case, honestly, I like where Ricky Renner is. I mean, I know he's super far behind, like, time-wise, but, like, strategy-wise, he's set.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be grabbing a set of draws in 3 laps.
No.
I mean, it's possible, but we'll also get to see once Schwartz and Mason do their pit stops what a fresh set of tires does for them. You know, and normally we'll see these guys only take 2 or 3 tires.
Yeah.
You know, but with wets, I don't know if that works the same. I mean, I wish we had Dom in the booth still to ask. But.
Yeah. Oh, Schwartz is off. Mason, not yet. It's going to be way behind on this stop. Munsel's going to beat Mason off.
Yeah, and that may be the difference. You know, Mason may have said, I want all 4. You know, just to keep it from...
No.
Yeah. That's going to be your other big problem here. And I've had this happen in some endurance races before. That pit lane exit, the track may get dry.
No, not
so
at all.
coming out on a set of cold...
Yeah,
coming out of that on a set of cold, dry tires right now is almost going to be death.
Whoa, he's going to miss the corner. Woof. Well, there's Ricky that passed him, and he's still running good laps. He's still running mid-38s.
Well, so pit lane time here is looking for Ricky. It took him 1:12 in the pits. Took Mason 1:21. So there's going to be a fuel difference there, and probably taking tires or whatnot. Oh, Mason's on dries. Mason went to dry tires.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So maybe just trying, you know, hoping and praying. But it may be one of those things, if Mason survives for 2 laps, it comes right back to him.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if we're looking at the way fuel strategy is, if he's on dries and going much slower than the pack, oh my goodness, he could save enough fuel, and maybe it dries up by that time. I don't know. I mean,
but see,
if
I'm
he
also
dries quick enough, you know, he could do it.
You remember when I said earlier about not seeing the rooster tail from the middle from that diffuser?
Yes.
It's just on the tires. It's close.
Yeah.
This may be big brain crazy move by Mason that pays off, but
I respect it.
I mean, that's 13 seconds now. Who didn't pit? The mystery machine, Nick Terrell. And here's the other thing. 30 minutes to go. He's made it halfway. Is he going to have to? He's going one more. He will have enough fuel to make it to the end. Because if he's made it 29 minutes and 52 seconds, one more lap will put him past the halfway mark. That's, you know, this may be the big brain move. But, you know, Schwartz is only 3 seconds behind him now. So, you know, pit lane time, so if it cost him a minute and say, let's do an average Munsel's time, 16 seconds, to come into the pits, get back out.
Ooh, Mason's on pit road. I think he gave up on the strategy.
But, well, here's the other thing. If it's too soon, you know, do that one lap and come in, you know, well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because he's having to swap tires regardless.
Yeah.
So
unless
this is just him taking a splash of fuel and he's gonna hold it out and pray. Nope. No.
Yeah.
Mason with the call and it's not working out.
Mm-hmm.
So the interesting thing will be to keep an eye. The other person who went for dry tires, Bronson Stafford. I'm just showing an accident for him here.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oops. He hit the
Just
apron.
curbs.
Hmm.
So it's still too early for the slicks.
And Jonathan has gotten around Nick.
But by doing a one stop, I mean, I know you're going to have a shorter pit lane time, but even if Nick can, after he pits and comes back out, if he can keep Schwartz within a minute, it's going to be real hard for Schwartz to eat that back up on track.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me look at, where's Ricky here? He's about 8.5 seconds back.
And Ricky was about a minute behind Schwartz.
Yeah.
So it's in the realm. Yeah. But Nick definitely, you know, still 1 second ahead of as they're coming into the bus stop here.
I'd imagine he should pit this lap.
Yeah, yeah, there he goes.
Ricky as well. Nope, he stays at another. And he's still running good laps as well. He ran a 38.3 last lap compared to Schwartz, who ran a 33 or 38 flat.
Yeah.
The pace is definitely picking up.
Oh yeah, yeah. The pace is picking up, and that's why I said now. If Ricky is running the kind of fuel strat Nick was, and we go 3 more laps, and he pits, it might be a sketchy lap or 2 for Dries, but it's a possible. Dave Tilford, after having his little incident, gotten himself back up to 6th position there. Gonna jump Nick in the pit phase. But David came in a little early, so we know he's going to have to stop.
There's Nick. Let's see his time on the pit road.
I'm waiting to see if it updates when it drops him off the jack with his tires. See if he's brave enough to try for the dries. It is not. He is still on the wets. And
he's gonna hope that it stays wet now, because if it all of a sudden gets dry and Jonathan uses dry tires, I mean, he'll be rocket ship, but like, it depends on how far back he is.
But a lot of these guys also, they could pit in, you know, 2 laps, 4 laps. And grab that splash of fuel and make it to the end. But you see that is Nick coming out of hill to replace Dane Simpson. So Dane doing a good job keeping it on track.
With that, I mean, he should be within a minute, because the last lap, Dane was about 58 seconds back.
Currently showing Nick 1 minute, 0.33 behind Schwartz.
So it's going to be close.
Yeah. But like I said, he made it an extra lap, so he won't have to save as much fuel. He can burn a little more to the end. Seeing an accident here at a William Burrow. What happened here? Through a rouge. Oh, catches the puddle on the inside. Sideways. Keeps it off the wall. Good recovery there, Bill.
Good stuff.
Showing a crash here for Winslow. What happened? Tim Thompson involved too here. Okay, SDK's just saying they went slow, apparently.
Yeah, they did.
Everybody playing nice and giving each other room. Fastest lap that lap, Carl Handwork with a 2:37.71.
Ooh, all right.
There we go. You gotta remind me to swap over the timing tower occasionally there, Tyler. I've forgotten, got into all this and forgot all the positions. So, looking in here, Nickerson, your highest ranking gold driver, in 4th currently.
Good stuff.
Jimmy Covert holding down the silver up in 6th. So good job out of Jimmy. Dane Simpson has, let's see, who's that? Shane just got around him. So maybe a little slow out of the bus stop. But that's your closest battle here on track currently, being 4/10 away. Let's see if he has anything coming up through. Ooh. Using all of the curb.
Of course.
That's a good drag. The problem is the Porsche doesn't get a good draft off anything, it seems like.
Oh, Justin Munsell sideways.
He is back going. Did he take? Let's watch this. Down through Puon, just loses the back, I'm guessing.
Yep.
But keeps it off the wall.
Probably gave
Man's
Ricky
moment.
a little scare.
Yeah, Ricky probably will be in this time if I had to guess. It should be headed through. Let's see, that should be Blanchimont here. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to. I can tell you these corners, but I'm sure y'all are seeing just a bunch of black.
Yep, here he comes.
Down into the bus stop.
Whoa, oh gosh.
Oh wait, that's Munson. Oh, I thought I was on Ricky. Yeah, Ricky's in the pits. I can't even tell the difference between a McLaren and an Acura in the dark. Wow. I think Parks de la Cruz would have a few words for me not recognizing that difference.
How dare you?
Pretty much exactly what he would say. Although this time, Mason Smith, 135.90.
Woo!
So Mason getting a move on. All right. So for Ricky, if Mason's running a 135, let's look at somebody running down the cover straight here. I'm just seeing those tire tails. It could be.
I'm looking at Nick Terrell, and I mean, he's going down the front stretch.
Ricky's going for the dries.
At the start, Nick didn't have much spray at the beginning of the straightaway, but towards the end he did.
Well, Ricky's going for the dry tires.
All right.
So hopefully
Emotional damage.
will not be a factor here. But I'm going to go ahead and hop on the onboard here, and we can see how sketchy it is leaving the pits.
That's what I'm looking for. So far, so good. Gotta be careful accelerating here. Whoa. It's all right.
You're on dry tires and the wipers are on.
Yeah. He's got another car
And
behind.
he has Mason
I don't
behind
know. Hopefully Mason knows. He looks good. Looks good.
You can see him. Yeah, I think if he can get it around the track a lap or two, get those tires warm, I think Ricky may have an ace up his sleeve.
You just got to be careful. You just got to not mess up, not make a mistake here and ruin it.
So he's a minute 10 back behind Schwartz. And Ricky at this point shouldn't have to stop.
Yes.
Covert's only... So he's going to gain a minute on most of these guys. So, you know, if I'm Schwartz, I'm seriously thinking about, you know, where's your crossover point? You know. I want to show you all something where you can see, but yeah, there's minimal spray coming out of the source.
I'm trying to I'm looking at Mason's on board and just focusing on like the gap between him and Ricky, and I mean it stayed constant. And again, Mason ran the 35, which was a couple seconds faster than a couple cars. But now Ricky's got a little traffic in front of him, and Mason's going to go for the move here. Not going to be able to work out. Getting a couple lap cars. Gotta be careful. Don't make any decisive moves and upset the car.
You say lap cars, but that lap car in front of them is Dane. Or no, that's not a lap car. Let's say you got 10th place right in front of them right there.
Yeah, to him, it's a lap car.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a huge pace difference, and
Yeah, exactly.
Ricky taking it. Like we can see the braking setting.
Way
Yep.
too hot.
Yep. That's
I
the
saw
drives
that,
for
yeah.
you. Oh,
Whoa.
coming back across, it just did not turn for Ricky. They were getting into the side of Dane Simpson. I'll have to try to hop on. Ricky's steering wheel looks straight, so he may have gotten away with that. And
Now we're going to see the actual difference. See if he can run Mason down. Who also only ran a 38.4, and Jonathan ran a 37.4.
But your big thing will be, is he even going to be able to, making it look pretty easy. Got Braden on his tail. On these lower, let me put the weather thing here for everybody. Show this. Track temp is 62. It's going to take a minute to fire those new tires up.
Yeah, it definitely will. I mean, he's got to be careful at the same time, too. I mean, we still have a little bit to go in this race, but you don't want it to be, too late and not have that much time to make up on the leaders. And I mean, he's got
right
quite
there
a
pulling
bit
away
to go.
from Braden.
Yeah, so he's got the straightaway speed now.
Yeah, I think there's going to be just those couple corners at this point where you're going to have to tiptoe. Mm-hmm. I mean, because he's walking away from Braden there.
Oh yeah, he is.
And Carlson is not a slow driver by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I know Ricky's in platinum and Braden's in gold, but the difference between those two, we're talking gold to platinum. A lot of the times on a dry track, it's 3, 4, 5 tenths.
Yeah.
Whereas Ricky's already pulled out over a second gap and a quarter of a lap.
Ooh, he overshot that corner a little bit. I could see the marbles coming out from underneath.
Oh, yeah. Keep it.
That definitely didn't help. Whoa, Carlson overshoots it. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, and you see,
good exit.
Well, your other problem is the guys, as it dries off, the guys that are on wets, those wets are going to start getting just as sketchy as the dries when they start going offline and getting into that water. So, let's check in with Jimmy here. Running in 5th place has, who is that on his back? It's Ian Howard. He just got around there. And then right up the road here, see Jimmy in the background. There's Dave Tilford running in 4th overall, 3rd in platinum. And Nathan Nickerson there in the podium spot. David, last lap. They're right there running the same pace, it looks like. So that'll be an interesting battle to keep our eyes on.
Ooh, Ricky and Carlson are going to be side by side entering Eau Rouge. I would assume Carlson. Oh, okay. Almost contact between those two.
Yeah, Ricky, I think he's not having to lift.
No. I mean, look at the gap he just put on Carlson there.
Yeah. I think you're going to start seeing every lap it's going to be getting better and better for Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Seeing a accident here for Dane Simpson. What happened to Dane? Just overcooking the corner a little bit there.
Yeah.
Nothing too bad. They call it the bus stop for a reason.
Whoa, Ricky a little wide that corner.
And that's one of the problems. I mean, Mason 7 seconds ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
But Mason also being held up. Whoa! Car sideways there. Okay, that wasn't Mason. I saw the 09 on the window. I think that was that Shane? Yeah. Mason was going around Shane, and it only updates the little boards on the car at the start-finish line. So I was like, wait.
Well, Mason right now looking to go by Eli for P8.
Yep. I guess Beaver, it's what's for dinner for Mason here. is all over the back of that McLaren. But here's your
Audi
problem.
had enough run on the exit.
You don't want to go sideways through Blanchimont.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Mason's going to probably try to time it to have the run coming out and try to take it in the braking zone.
Let's see if he goes for an overshoot. Eli with a really defensive line there.
Yeah. And you're going to have Mason probably doing a cutback right here.
Oh, he tried, but Eli kind of blocked it a little bit.
Some good racing here, but
Gonna go on the outside.
Yep, you can see the difference in the, wet line there. Mason's still having a little extra traction. See if Mason's going to try to take it too wide through here.
He does. Whoa, Eli.
Eli realizes this is not going to end well and tell her that one.
Yep. He knew better there.
But Ricky Renner, look at the amount of time he is chewing. 3.7, 3.6. Just up to Eli there. And that's getting that better run through Rouge and Radion at the top of the hill.
They ran a 36.8 the last lap, and Schwartz ran a 36.3, so only about a half a second quicker.
And we have another taker for dry tires of Carl Handwerk.
Okay.
We also have Alex Jaspers, who is trying a set of dries. And Alexander Hamrick trying dries. All right.
Oh, Carl a little off the racetrack there, but...
Yeah.
Okay. It's all right.
If Carl just pitted last lap, it's going to take him a minute to get those things fired up. We saw it took Ricky almost 2 laps to get them going.
And plus, Carl is the first car that's in front of Jonathan, too, so I'm sure he's going to try to keep this spot.
Yeah. So, jumping up here, Nick Terrell, 1 minute, 2.7 seconds behind. Oh, Jasper's having a moment right there in front of Nick. Tilford into the pits. And Terry. Mason is 8 seconds behind Nick. But
36 and 9.
Where Mason pitted, he shouldn't have to pit again.
Yeah, I don't think so. But now...
So if Mason jumps Nick before Schwartz makes his pit stop, it's not race over. It could be race on.
Oh, no.
Now, the only thing is, at this point, if Schwartz comes in for dries, at the end, he may just be able to just drive right past him. But we have 10 minutes left. Where's the last 50 minutes gone?
I know, this has gone by awfully quick with all these strategies in mind. And I just looked, Renner ran a 35.1, which is 1.3 seconds faster than Schwartz that last lap. Now might be the effect, because I'm trying to look at Schwartz to see if there's any spray, but because of these nighttime graphics, I can barely see.
I'm getting there's little trails off the back of Schwartz.
Yeah, just a little.
Going down the Kimmel Straight, there's still a little towards the end, but that's the end. But he's also gotten around Elijah Brandel and closed that gap back to Mason in 6 seconds. So
his last lap is almost a second quicker than Mason, too. So I don't know. It's going to be awfully close. Not the distance of making it, but the gap to Jonathan when he seems to pit. Let me see what his lap when he comes around this time. Oh, he's pitting this lap. Here he is.
And here's the thing for Schwartz. It's going to be real easy to do this. Is to come through here and dink. I'm going to stick with him through the pit lane here. But you see he's driving up to this wall. It is a full-on 90-degree right that in the dry, I have seen guys during endurance races hit the wall because it takes full lock and you have to slow down to make it.
Yeah, I've done it. I know the feeling. but it looks like
He
looks
came
good.
close, but he did it good. I mean, so that is put. You know, looking at these as they're coming by. The problem is I'm not going to get a good update out of SDK until the end. Munsell staying out.
Okay. Nathan is on pit road as well. Schwartz into his box.
Is it lifting the car up? I can't tell.
Nope, he's off. He's going.
He is still on wets.
Interesting.
So, 1 minute 6.
Careful on pit road exit here. Oh, a little loose.
Mason back into the pits. I think we may see Mason take a set of dries.
I think so. And then he's going to have to absolutely motor it here. Ricky getting
Still
ready to
out
go
on
up
track.
a Rouge. 34.8.
Yeah, the time is dropping quick.
Very,
and that
very
puts
quick.
Ricky 3 seconds behind Munsell and only 32 seconds behind Schwartz. We've got about 3 or 4 laps left. If he's taking chunks of a second or two, don't think it'll be enough to get back up to Schwartz.
He's
But
going to need to be absolutely perfect.
Schwartz is also on a set of used wet tires, and this track is drying off.
It is, but I mean,
If
there's
this,
still
if
a
this
lot
was
of
during the
spray.
day, if this was during the day, those tires would be shredded, just due to track temps. But we don't have that. We've got night. Thank you, Carl. Tilford getting up to the back of Brandel here.
Oh, Ricky just ran off into the gravel a little bit. He's all right. Just overshot the corner.
Go back here, see if Tilford has anything for Elijah here.
Oh, God.
Ooh. Think he did not expect Brandel to brake that early.
Yeah, I just heard it on the radio. Let me see the damage.
Let's see. Munsell
Definitely
into the
caved
pits
in.
this time. Schwartz should get back around Munsell this lap. But
There
that
we go.
gap to Ricky, 29 seconds. The gap to Nick, 19 seconds. But Nick is on wet tires as well.
Yeah, I don't see how he's gonna hold on here if it's gonna stay like this.
I think this is going to be your battle right here between Nick and Ricky.
Yeah.
You know, can Ricky chop 9 seconds out in 5 minutes?
35.8 for him that last for Nick, and a 33.9 for Ricky that lap.
So 2 seconds on, and that gap is just going to keep heading towards Ricky's way. Or
I think
that
it's very
delta.
possible.
It's going to be close, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one.
And again, that was a 33.9, and Ricky ran off that lap too. So he probably lost half a second.
Carl, another driver here trying to make his way through the field on a set of dries. But see, that's your other problem. Is if you're trying to make up time and you got nobody in front of you, being on dries is one thing. If you're trying to make passes offline in the wet, oh, your poor soul, Carl.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. Ooh. Bill getting a little shaky and tail out of that one.
Carl wants it to be exciting.
Yep. And you got the two CRN cars here, just a little bit apart, 2.5 seconds from Jimmy to Carl. That's now down to 2 seconds. So definitely these guys showing Brandel now on dry tires. So, oh, that's the other thing. No, Ricky, it's a Munsell. Munsell's his next target. 2.8. So, Ricky definitely in. I saw somebody backwards. I don't know who it was. 2.9 to Munsell ahead of him. Munsell on the wets. And judging by his pit time, he did the same as Schwartz, only taking fuel.
Well, lucky for Schwartz, looks like he's going to be good to go.
Could be. As long as he's not, going to trip a off-track drive-through on the last lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've seen that car a little sideways here and there. Huh. Ricky must have had a little moment. Because that gap is now up to 13 seconds. Oh, a little bit of a spin there.
Ooh.
And ding the wall.
Yep. That'll do it. Mm.
And it looks like Munsell is pulling away from Ricky there now.
Oh, and he just went off in the final corner again.
Oh, tough race for Ricky.
And I heard him on the radio said, "What a lap." Ouch.
Well, I know somebody didn't have a good night during at Coda either.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
Although, thanks to Ricky's spin, it gave me a position on a couple guys having to do some avoidance.
I know.
So do thank him for attending.
I know of everybody who had a tough day at Coda, unless your name is Clayton Montgomery or Alan Elwood.
Absolutely. That has promoted Dave Tilford up to 4th. Although Ricky on his backside, running him down fast. So, there's going to be a difference in those dry tires now.
Oh, Jonathan. Gosh, even though he's leading and got a fairly decent lead, he's still kind of pushing, and that car is still jumping on him a little bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering how used up those tires are.
I bet very. I'm just going to keep an eye, make sure he doesn't, go off the line, because...
But right here,
boy,
three-way battle between Elijah, Jimmy, Carl, and you have Braden right up ahead. Braden on a set of dries. Carl on a set of dries, but Carl having trouble trying to get around Jimmy here. Yeah, Jimmy doesn't make it easy to get around.
Oh, Eli! Whoa!
I think Eli's about to get freight trained here by 2 Acuras.
I think so. All the inside.
But the question, if you're Carl and you're on the dries, you don't want to be over there on the wet car.
Oh, he's going to kind of give the spot to Jimmy. Jimmy's going to give it back to him. No problem.
And there is so much gravel coming up in this corner. So much. But Brandel holding his own against Carl and Jimmy here. Best battle here on track. Ooh.
Carl's thinking about it.
Is he going to try to get him around, hanging around the outside? No.
Oh, he overshot it.
Ooh. Out there mowing the grass.
That's a casual NASCAR road course moment where you fake him a little bit and make him overshoot the corner.
But our leader over here in silver is Shane Theron. So Shane doing some good work in that McLaren here tonight. Did not elect to take the wets and did not elect to take the dries and stayed on the wets. So that is a situation that I think he is currently liking. And as we are... Alright, we're past, so this should be the final lap here. As we follow along with Schwartz here. As he comes through. I see what you mean. Yeah, the car's still kind of twitching.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just because he's unhappy or just maybe he's, I don't know, making it fun looking? I don't know.
He's headed now down towards
Oh my God, he almost lost it. Oh my God.
I mean, he's definitely pushing. Last lap did a 1:35.6. Although fastest lap, Jack Peterson on a set of dries, 2:31.5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if this was an hour and a half race, they'd be in trouble. But
Oh yeah. It should be it though, right here. Yep. This is coming to the
down
checker.
into the bus stop.
Whoa, gosh.
Overcooking it a little bit. Because the checkered is not where the race started. It is right here.
Yeah, there it is.
There's the checkered flag.
Good win. Well done.
So we got this battle here. 1.6. Is Munsell going to try something? Nope. No repeated Dom shooting the last corner. But Ricky here managing to come back into 4th place after catching the wall twice.
What could have been?
I mean, it's still a hell of a recovery drive.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
You know, finished where he qualified. Can't ask for too much more than that.
He just ran a 29 flat that last lap.
Dave Tilford finishing in 5th there, so Ricky getting around David at some point. Nathan Nickerson taking home the winning gold. Mason, unfortunately, back in 7th position.
Getting by the lap cars there.
And then we have Braden Carlson and Carl Hamburg both on dry tires. So depending on who goes where into the bus stop, if Carl can get close enough, this could be really, really
interesting. He got a good run off there. It's not going to be enough, I don't think, to send it unless he really wants to. He's going to try. Ow, he got to slow down. He's going to go for the exit. The contact. Oh, not enough, though.
That is a little optimistic, but hey, it's last lap. You got to go for it. You know.
Yeah, that was good.
That's aggressive but respectful. That's what we like to see around here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Josh Betts will bring home the first car in bronze. Or the, yeah. And he is, where is he now?
Peterson Peterson spun out on the very last corner.
Oh.
Battling with Nathan Sides. It looked like it would have been for 13th. Instead, it's a 16th.
That's always a tough one.
No, never mind. It is 14. So he still really only lost a spot, but still.
And that was Betts taking the last one to come across the flag there. So let's see who we can find here.
That was fun.
Yep, I have to type in the chat here. Let's see. Get a few guys to come in. Let's see, there's Betts and Jane and Nathan Nickerson. Let's see, we have Munsell. Nick Terrell. All right, let's pull some guys in here. Let's see, who do we have? Looking for... I do not see Betts yet, but you know what? We'll start out with Shane Theron. Let's get this queued up here. Let's go to quarter time. There we go. And put it on the right camera. Boom. Wrong camera, wrong lap, but let's do that. Let's pull it back a few laps here. Okay. There we go. Now it's acting right. Oh, well, Tell you what, we got Josh Betts here. We'll pull him in first, starting with our winner here in bronze tonight, Mr. Betts. How did you enjoy that?
It was a little stressful, to be honest.
So you had a few little whoopsies here and there. Put in a few quick laps though.
Yeah, it was kind of a little tough, and then it got even tougher when it started getting dark, and I can already barely see as it is. I'm blind, so getting dark and a little bit of wet, I was like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go.
Well, we saw you in practice putting in some fast laps there towards the end. Looks like you never decided to try to go for the draws.
Yeah, I was just staying on wet. I was in Discord with, the whole team, and we're all talking, and Ricky was like, "Hey, you guys should probably just splash and dash at the end. Don't worry about dries." And I looked, there's 6 minutes left. I was like, "Yeah, he's probably right. I don't want to risk it." I knew I was leading the class, so I was like, "I'll just stay. I'll tough it out."
Well, congratulations on, I guess, making the least amount of mistakes. Is that going to be the right way to put it, to bring home the win tonight?
Yeah, I guess. I think I still had 11 incidents still.
Yeah, we saw a couple of the off tracks there. I know when the leaders came by, having to let them by was not an easy thing to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, but sometimes you just gotta sacrifice a little bit, and you get rewarded like I did, I guess. Because I don't know what happened to Jaspers. We were battling, and I was so ready because he gets me all the time at the end. I'm like, I'm gonna get him this time, and then he pulls in the pits, and I don't know what happened. So
Somebody had an incident with the wall and some dirt and some grass.
okay, that explains it then.
Well, congratulations. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 341 machine before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to shout out, the whole next gen team and Ricky, Nate, Alex, everyone. We all put in a lot of work, push each other to be the best we can. So I want to shout them out. Shout out my girlfriend. She watches every week, cheers me on. Kind of cool. And then just you guys for everything you guys do.
Well, we appreciate it, and we will hopefully catch you next week.
Yep. See you guys next week.
And that was our not gold, bronze winner, Josh Betts. We will pull Shane Powerhouse Theron in here. Shane, this is Tyler and John in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
So not in the Mustang tonight. Is that because the Mustang in the wet would be a horrible idea?
I didn't even know it was going to be wet. So I just like the McLaren. Now that I've been driving it, it's as fast as the Mustang and more stable, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. I like it. Apparently, I'm driving the Lambo at Sebring, and I'm not looking forward to that because that's what the teammates want. So I was like, "You sure you don't want to do the McLaren?" So I don't blame you in your choice at all.
I like it. It paid off for tonight because I knew Spa like really well, so I didn't really practice. And then Bronson was like, "Yeah, it's raining." It's like what? I was like, "Oh, well, that's gonna be fun."
Yeah, it looked like you had a little bit of a battle there with Elijah.
Yeah, he made the mistake trying to take dry tires early, and it bit him.
Yeah, it's one of those you want to, you see the lap times that are possible, but I'm guessing the name of the game tonight. You picked up 14 positions from your qualifying spot. So is that just keeping the nose clean?
Yeah, I was just making a joke in the waiting room that I should get bonus points for how many wrecks I avoided in the first lap. But yeah, no, I just kept it clean. I think I had just one spin tonight, and it was towards the end when Mason was behind me, and I don't know the guy's name, but he was braking super early, and it caught me off guard. I hit the brakes too hard. It got sideways, but other than that, I was clean and I did really well. I had a lot of fun.
So definitely more fun and a little easier than Xfinity at Coda.
Yeah, I didn't even race Coda. I took the drop week for that one. I was practicing and I couldn't figure it out, and I was like, I would
Good for
rather
you.
not be a wrecking ball for everybody else.
There were a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep the car underneath me, so I was like, I'm all set.
Well, congratulations on the win in silver tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
shout out to the Sky guys, Bronson, Robert, and Justin. Justin got a podium tonight, so that's good. No mistakes, so he's probably happy about that one. You guys for broadcast. I'm gonna go back and watch it. I don't know if you guys caught any of the wreck avoidances, but I'm gonna try and see.
I think we saw one or two. After a while, like I had to kind of start ignoring the red in SDK that just kept scrolling past the screen because it was picking up things where, like, if guys tried to go too wide into La Source, it was like wreck, and it shows 4 red cars, and you're like, oh, and it's just them being nice.
There was one wreck. Oh, you're actually showing my wreck on the stream right now. The one incident I had. There was one wreck after that corner in the beginning of the race where I watched like 4 cars that died. I was like, oh no.
Well, congratulations. Let's see. What do we have for next week? It is. Oh, wait, I'm looking at Xfinity. That's the wrong
Watkins.
one. Watkins.
Oh.
So, being a NASCAR guy, I'm sure you have a little bit of experience there. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I know the track everywhere except for the boot, but other than that, I know every other part.
It's
right there with you.
If I could run Watkins without the boot, I love it.
Yeah.
But the boot can it can screw off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, congratulations, and hopefully we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that was silver winner Shane Theron. Now we're going to pull in Nathan Nickerson. You want to take this one away, Tyler?
Sure. Nathan, John, and Tyler up here. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, it was certainly a race, but I think that's kind of how everyone was describing this day. I mean, tons of weather. We know what the heck what was going there, but it was still a solid recovery for P6. Go ahead and take me through. Actually, you know what? No, not through your race. Tell me what it was like towards the end there, as it was starting to transition towards a more dry racetrack.
No, I want to take you through the whole race.
Go for it. Go for it.
No, at the end there, while it was transitioning to dry, it was the question of, do you take dry tires or do you just stick it out on wets? And I actually checked the box for dry tires, and then with a few laps to go, I unchecked it back to wets, but that checked my tires at that point, so I took a tire change and ended up losing some time on Tilford, and we were pretty much battling the whole race, so just that little indecisiveness kind of cost me a little bit.
Yeah, but it still wasn't bad overall, though. The times are kind of going back and forth. I guess as I'm looking through some of these lap times, because that was the one thing I was mostly looking at. You kind of improved on the lap time basically through the whole race. It definitely started to hit. You hit your best there basically after the first pit stop there. So, tell me, kind of the difference between the wets and the dries, because I noticed Jonathan, who was leading, who was constantly on the wet tires. I mean, it seemed like he was either really pushing it or just something still wasn't happy while on the wet. So, was it really that treacherous out there as it kind of seemed?
Yeah, so like as you said, the track was improving the whole race, and that first stint was definitely wets, and then second stint was questionable. It was improving, but you could definitely feel like a little puddle here or there. And then the last stint was just so questionable. The track was definitely dry enough to run those dries, but at the same time, if you hit a patch of wet or try to go around somebody in the wet, then who knows what could happen breaking offline at that point. So you could push a lot more on that dry line on wets, but once the track is too dry, then the wets become the wet feeling tire at that point, or the dry feeling tire in the wet conditions.
Fair enough. Well, kind of a little bit of a breath of fresh air. Next week, we go to Watkins Glen. I mean, it's a lot simpler of a road course. I've run there plenty of times. I know it's a lot easier, a lot high speed, kind of mind games a little bit too. But do you have excitement for Watkins Glen?
I'm so stoked for it. I missed 2 or 3 rounds at the beginning of the series, I believe. So I'm stoked to get out there on my favorite track and get some points back.
All right, Nathan. Well, good stuff overall there to finish P6. Any quick shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank that next gen crew. We got Betts, Ricky, Alex all racing in the race, and then a couple others watching in Discord with us. And then also the family watching the stream tonight. Thanks, guys, for putting it on.
All right, Nathan. Well, we appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
That was your gold winner, Nathan Nickerson. Let's pull the, what do you call it? Third place. Started on our podium for tonight, Mr. Justin Munsell. This is John and Tyler in the booth. You get a copy.
Yep, I got you guys.
So, looks like tonight for you was just don't make mistakes and make it to the end. We see you didn't go for the dry tire that Ricky had tried.
Yeah, it was. I've had over the last few races, it's been a little bit of a calamity of mistakes, and today I just want to make sure that I made as few as possible. I mean, I did spin, did like a half spin. That probably took me out of second place, but I mean, all in all, with a wet track, I mean, I'll take a race with one half spin. But yeah, it was just I was happy to kind of have the track to myself for most of the race. Let me log laps and let me find the line, the dry line. So, I couldn't have pictured the race going any better than this, so I'll gladly take it.
Well, congratulations, definitely on the podium there. From what we see, you just kind of out there for a Sunday drive for a bit of it. Didn't look like you were having to battle too much, so I'm sure that made the drive a little easier.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know in the last few races, whenever I've had a battle, I've overdriven the car and pushed it too past the limits. So yeah, I mean, like you said, very happy to be by myself for most of the race and just log my laps.
It's about the only time you ever want to a wet, a wet night spa race. But we got Watkins Glen coming up next week. You looking forward to daytime and
I was telling the guys I was in the chat with, and I'm like, man, I know we've only had like a few night races, but I feel like that's a few too many.
Well, I say that. I just now looked. It's a 5 p.m. race.
Yeah, and it seems like all of them are.
Well, cooler
yeah,
track tone.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully there's no rain, but I mean, who knows at this point. But Watkins Glen is fine. I mean, it's one of the few tracks I have experience on a sports car on rain. So if it does rain, I mean, I feel like I'm fine. I'm more looking forward, or I'm more looking towards the week after for that 2-hour race at Sebring. That is not a track I like, so I will have to do some prep for that.
Yeah, that's so I assume you're not going to be trying to run the 12-hour endurance race there.
I couldn't anyway, but even if I could, I don't know if I would.
Well, congratulations on the podium here tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 098 before we let you go celebrate?
Just a normal. Thanks to league owners. Thanks to you guys for taking the time to do the broadcast. Thanks to my teammates that we hang out in the chat. Keep each other company. It's always fun to race with those guys, and it was fun to race today. So appreciate everybody.
All right. Well, congratulations, and we will hopefully catch you next week.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your night.
All right. That was third place Justin Munsell. We will bring second place Nick Terrell in here. Nick, this is John and Tyler in the booth. You get a copy.
I do. I hear you.
So, Tyler, you want to take this one away?
Yeah, Nick. I mean, you tried to put on the charge there at the end to try to get close to Jonathan, but ultimately, not close enough. You had a good battle there with Justin there for P2, but go ahead and take me through kind of what it was like thinking that while, I mean, you had some good speed there, especially at the end, running good laps, 35s, and ran your fastest, a 34 at the very end. Tell me what it was like kind of in that battle there.
Well, I was running an entirely different strategy than everybody else out there, as you probably saw.
Mm-hmm.
I one-stopped the race, where everyone else did at least 2 stops. So I literally was hitting fuel numbers the entire race. Since I was able to do 2 extra laps on the first stint, I was able to push a good bit more on the second one. So that's where my times actually started to get a little bit quicker. And it all balanced out to where Schwartz was fast enough. He'd built a big enough gap to be able to come in and take the second pit and still have a good lead. The other guys did not, between issues and pace. That's where I was able to jump I mean, I started 12th and finished second, I think. So I was
Mhm.
able to jump like 10 people through strategy pretty much. Cause I mean, I wasn't passing many people on pace just because I had to hit fuel numbers. So like the first lap out, I guess technically second lap out after we kind of all got in line and was able to kind of see like the fuel usage and estimations and things like that. I was like, if I can save like an extra 2 to 3 or like 2 or 3 tenths worth of a lap on the rest of the stints, I'll actually be able to run maybe 1 or 2 extra laps than everyone else. And I saw people start coming in on like lap like 9 or 10 or whatever it was, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, as long as I can get to like 13 or 12, I mean, like I don't see this race going more than 23 laps. So I was like, I could probably run a 12 and an 11 and actually be able to push a little more in that last stop. So it worked out.
Yeah, good stuff overall there. I asked this, we kind of got the idea of this from the other drivers we interviewed, but kind of take me through what it was like with the transition from a driver who finished near the front. Was it sketchy running there as the track was getting dry at the end, or was it, what was the rain kind of like as it progressed throughout the race?
Well, since I had focused more not on necessarily pushing, but more about hitting a fuel number, I had decently healthy tires. I mean, I was still having to push enough to not let Justin catch me. And then as I saw some of the switchovers start happening with people that went on dries, I started hearing such and such, set fastest lap, such and such, set fastest lap. I'm looking up like, all right, where's such and such? I'm like, okay, they're enough back. I'm like, I don't know if they're going to make up like 14 seconds in the last 3 laps, but I'm definitely watching, and it was just all about being my own crew chief, being my own like race engineer and all that stuff. It's like I have another screen that has a bunch of data all on it and everything. So just a matter of hitting the fuel numbers. I mean, I was showing at first I was to have like a whole like extra lap or more than like 1.3 or something laps of fuel left when I first took off on the second stint. But as the fuel data started coming in and altering itself to correct for like estimated time and race lap times and things like that to the end. I mean, I started where I was on my heavy fuel save first stint. I was burning like low to mid 0.9 gallons a lap, and then second stint even doing a little bit of fuel save just to hit the number. I was burning like 1.03 to like 1.07 gallons a lap. So I mean, I was burning enough to where I cost myself like an extra lap just from what I saved on the first one. And even all that, I still was like gurgling fuel, like burping as I was like maybe 100 feet past the line. So I mean, I just was watching the numbers.
Fair enough for you there, but it was still a good run there. Good recovery to
Yeah.
P2.
Yep, did everything I could. Ran a 1x low incident race too, so got some bonus points that way as well. So I mean, I did everything I could to add points to the season total.
How are we feeling about Watkins Glen? Do you think you can do a similar performance?
It certainly won't be a one-stopper at Watkins Glen, but it is one of my favorite tracks. So I mean, it'll be a push race there, thankfully, and it's one of my favorites. Don't know what car I'll drive. We'll do a little test. Nah, the 40% fuel on a dry track, it's impossible. The only reason I thought about doing it here was it was like a perfect combo or perfect storm, using a little innuendo there. But the with the wet and dark, I knew it was gonna take forever to dry, and then the long ass pit lanes of Spa Endurance. I was like, okay, I don't know exactly how long things take to just do a drive through here and come for a splash at the end, but
About a
as
minute
long
and
as
6 seconds pit lane time.
yeah, I knew it was, I knew it's pretty close, or at least a minute easily, And I saw when I came in from my first pit that Schwartz was only like 50 some seconds in front of me, like whenever like I came out. So I was like, well, depending how long he's in there and stuff, And I mean that's why it was only like a 17-second gap or something at the end, because just the 40 some seconds or 50 seconds or so that it would take just to putt through the pit lane was offset. And I mean I was fine giving that up. I knew I'd finish maybe in the top 3. That's kind of like what I was shooting for. People had some mishaps and miscalculations and whatever, but ran my race. That's the best you can do sometimes. I was extra nice to some people that I knew would maybe not get behind me if I was actually pushing, but I'm not going to show my hand and tell people, hey, I'm saving. You go on right by, I'm like, oh, yeah, you go by. I'm just being careful out here.
Yeah, definitely. How was trying to get around some of the lap cars? We saw the leaders trying to get through with Jonathan and Mason getting held up here and there. Any brown pants moments for accident avoidance for you?
Yeah, I had a couple. There was one guy I think coming out of Puhan. He started. I saw his ass in kick out, and he started sliding left, and I was like, "Please don't bounce off the wall," because it was on the last his last stint. And Justin was maybe I think like 3 or 4 seconds behind me at that point, and I knew he was cutting like multiple tenths a lap on me, and I was like, I didn't know where it was going to finish and who might get collected, but someone went there, and I think there was another part on the last lap or maybe second to last lap coming up to the really fast kink, whatever that turn is, Blanchimont, and he was tracking on the right side. I'm like, well, that's racing line. I hope I just get by him first, and luckily I was able to get by him first. And then I think coming up out of through like not the Rouge chicane, but like the next chicane, what is it, like after Kimmel, Lacombe or whatever, I think.
Yes,
The,
Lacombe. I was trying to think of that
there
all
was a
night,
guy-
and I couldn't remember.
Yeah, there was a guy over on the right side, and I was like, just thinking to myself, all right, I don't care how you rejoin as long as you stay on the right side, because I'm sticking to the left here. I'm going wide through that right hander just to make it down the hill, and I could hear the gravel that he was hitting too, and I was like, man, don't like hit the curb and shift over into me or something. But everyone was pretty good. I think the license
Lacombe
point
seems like
system
it
and
was
everything.
covered in gravel all night.
Oh yeah, there'd be some laps I come around and it'd be like, okay, it's clean, and the next lap I come around, I was like, oh my god, there's gravel all over the damn place. But yeah, it's the admin corrections and license points and things like that definitely keep people like cognizant of who's around them and trying to not make too boneheaded moves. And I mean, I didn't see anything too crazy. I mean, I just saw people losing it in front behind me, and my
Running
crew
out
chief
of
was going
talent.
crazy telling me. I mean, yeah, I mean, they call what rain the great neutralizer or something like that, right? And even watching the top split esports Bathurst race a few weeks ago, it's a very humbling watching those guys deal with the same struggles that we do, albeit they're running multiple seconds a lap quicker than us, but they're still hitting the same struggles, you know. It's a matter of, I know the rain line, the McLaren's not the best in the rain. I looked at the forecasts before I even registered tonight, and I saw the rain was way early, and I'm thinking, oh, surely it's going to be dry or drying. But by the time I get to and through qualifying and get in the race, and so I said, all right, McLaren it is. I like the McLaren on the dry tracks, and loaded in. And I'm like, oh, track's slightly wet, not very lightly wet. All right, let's see if it dries any during the rest of practice here in qualifying. Nope. I was like, okay, damn. I'm like, maybe didn't make the best decision here. So if it was Acura, I probably would have pushed since it was a McLaren, and that thing scares me in the wet. I just had to be nice to it. So I didn't really know the strat I was going to run literally until I was sitting in the car and getting data over the first couple laps.
Well, congratulations on second tonight with the fuel strategy. Anyway, we give a shout out to on that Scooby-Doo mystery machine before we let you go.
Yeah, of course. You guys, core broadcasters, all that. Everyone coordinates it. Dave Hilford with the really quick data and everything that numbers guy goes through and keeps it going. You guys with the sponsorships and broadcasting, as always. The wife that was sitting up here in the couch in my office up till a few minutes ago, she was trying to talk to me. I had one of my headset ears off, and she heard me get on the broadcast, you guys. So I think she got the hint there. But of course to her, and then yeah, you guys are the people that show up every week. I mean, we had 30 people tonight on a wet nighttime spa race, and wet usually scares some people off. So, I mean, hell, if without the people and the broadcasting, I mean, I don't think in the stewarding and everything, I mean, I don't think we'd have anything nearly as successful as what you guys have.
Well, we appreciate that, and hopefully we can catch you next week back in that top 3.
Yes, sir. Yep. See you guys. See you, John. See you, Tyler.
All right. That was second place, Nick Terrell. We'll pull our winner in here. John, this is John and Tyler in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
So pretty much led the whole race. Just first question is, were you scared at all seeing Mason come out on dries behind you at that first pit stop?
Man, I need to freaking get a webcam so you guys can see how scared I am throughout this whole race. I mean,
So it looked like it was twitchy.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it sure was. I mean, I was telling Nick during or after the race just how scared I was about the fact that it seemed that Mason was right there on my bumper. Like even though he didn't get by, I knew that one mistake, just braking a bit too late. It's just like the wet line or the dry line that was somewhat forming. It was very narrow early on, and the tires took some time to warm up. And it just had to be so cautious at every single point. In practice, I went off at multiple corners just trying to find the limit, and it doesn't take much to do that. And so I felt like I definitely wasn't giving all my pace, and initially just trying to be a bit cautious, and felt that Mason was definitely better in a few corners. But luckily he didn't close it up too much. Lap traffic made me a bit scared at some points too. I think I had around like a 1.5 second gap, and I think I caught a car in the middle sector and lost about a second of that. So, but at the first stop, like I noticed that the spray off the cars had started to reduce, and while the lap times weren't dropping much, I knew like that they would eventually start dropping, and so I was like, even if the dries weren't the best choice now, perhaps at the end of the race they would be. So I was really split about what tires to take. Ended up taking wets, and I didn't know if that was the right call, honestly. And I noticed that Mason looked like he pitted again, and not until I actually checked the replay. I thought he pitted because he was doing like a off strategy where he was taking dry tires like later or something. So I was absolutely confused, and I felt like I needed to push in case he did end up doing something that was surprising. And then I caught Nick too, and I was like, I didn't know what Nick's strategy was, so there was questioning all over the place, honestly. So my goal basically in the second half was just keeping the car on track, and glad I was able to pull that off.
Yeah, definitely. When I saw Mason going to the dry tires at the first stop, I was like, that might be a little early, but it's Mason. Maybe he knows. And, we see him out there, and then, about lost it twice and came right back in and said, nope, what's it is. And I thought at that point he may have been able to make it to the end. So I thought he might be interesting to see at the end, but having to make a third stop, I definitely cost him it back into 7th place.
But yeah, I mean, as much as I enjoy racing with him because we're always battling up at near the front, with 2 rounds to go and us close on points, I feel like this is definitely going to just give me a little more of a buffer heading into those next 2 weeks. So um, even if we do have some close races and he might steal a win, I feel like this will definitely make things a bit more comfortable. Just got to continue working on qualifying since he's just been so strong there. So it was cool to see that there was a large variety of cars. Like Acura looked strong, and the McLaren. I felt like it was gonna be a bit better if it dried up actually a bit more, but it did seem pretty stalled on the straights. So happy
Looks
to.
like everything except for the Mercedes and the BMW is represented here tonight.
Yeah, definitely uh, large representation of a lot of cars, which is cool to see. And also, huge shout out to Nick for somehow managing to do a one stop in that race. I don't know, even if I did save, don't think I could have pulled that off. So really impressed with that. Um, and I think the only other reason I probably didn't take dries was, uh, I think part of it was the fact that it was going into night, and so the fact that it got dark and the sun wasn't like on the track, I felt like that wasn't uh, the the wet patches wouldn't dry up as quickly. So I think that was a factor, and also the puddles would be harder to see, and
Oh yeah,
you're constantly trying to avoid those if you're on the dry tires. So like when it's
or even
daytime,
on used wets.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, it
So
looked at the end. You were kind of trying to search around for a little bit of that wet line, and we could see that McLaren just twitching or all around the corner.
yeah, so definitely glad there wasn't anyone on my tail. I was on pace for my fastest lap, the final lap, so it definitely was improving every time, but just made another mistake. It's just you enter a corner just a bit too fast, and then you end up sliding. The traction control gets enabled, and your exit is destroyed. So never got quite comfortable, but did what I needed to do. So happy with that.
Were you getting notifications for some of the fast laps by the guys that went to dries at the end that were, you know, 4 or 5 seconds a lap faster?
It was mind blowing to me.
Or were you starting to get a little nervous going, uh-oh, if that goes down much more, this might be real bad.
I just kept looking at the timer. I'm like, please go to 0, please go to 0. So glad, yeah, if that was an hour and a half race, things would have been definitely a bit different. So weird to say an hour was short, but
It felt short. Like there was action over the whole track. I'm sure getting through the field had to be interesting. So I don't envy your position having to drive tonight. I prefer to watch this kind of race from the booth.
Yeah, well, definitely looking forward to check out the broadcast afterwards. And yeah, appreciate the broadcast, guys.
All right. Anybody want to give a shout out to on that McLaren before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Delta Sport, running with them for upcoming Sebring 12 hours in a few weeks. So hopefully should get some practice in. And also shout out to GT Champions, running in their league as well, and that's going pretty exciting. It's a Porsche Cup on Saturdays, so hopefully just give a shout out to check that league out as well. And maybe some guys can go over there and just it's not exactly, obviously Porsche Cup doesn't have all the same qualities as the GT3s, but I feel like you learn a little bit here, learn a little bit there, and just it helps just become a better driver in like the overall sense. So that's quite fun.
Anything without ABS, it'll teach you something.
for sure.
Well, again, congratulations, and hopefully we'll catch you again next week.
Hey, sounds good. Thanks.
All right. That was our winner, John Schwartz, in, well, Platinum and the overall. But, Tyler, I mean, great racing here tonight. Let's see if I can still pull the results up, or if it's, just scroll those while we talk this one out. But it was, definitely some counter strategies, people trying to recover from some mistakes. We see Ricky making it back up to fourth after that early incident. It makes you wonder where he would have finished if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, he was kind of the big, just what could have been, like I mentioned it at the end there. So many guys. I mean, it's funny because it didn't really feel like you could have really settled on one specific person because there were so many strategies going on. Felt like a couple people really could have won that race if a few things were a little different, but still it was pretty good fun. I enjoyed it. Definitely a lot of variables thanks to the rain and being at night, but it was another good week. Watkins Glen have a little bit more, I know that place a lot more, so that should be more fun. I can't wait for that one.
Well, from everyone here at CRN and Core, we appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and we will catch y'all next week.
The engine's roar, the grid's alive. Under the lights, we start to drive. McLaren sweep cutting through the air. Porsche chasing close with a power so rare. Audi's growl, a beast unleashed. Lamborghini's roar, the grip of the beast. Ford's Mustang, muscle and might. Ferrari's prancing horse, ready to fight. BMW flies with precision and grace. Every corner, every chase. Core League legends racing for fame. GT3 fever, feel the flame. Race through the night, the engines sing. Core GT3, feel the lightning. McLaren, Porsche, Audi's pride. Lamborghini screaming by your side. Ferrari, Ford, BMW, chasing victory, breaking through. Core GT, feel the speed. Racing fever is all we need. Every apex tight, every lap on fire. The battle rages, hearts full of desire. Through Eau Rouge and on the straight, GT3 glory can't be late. McLaren shadow, Porsche scream. Audi fights back in a high-speed dream. Lamborghini powers down the line. Ford's thunder echoes divine. Ferrari surges with the lion's roar. BMW dances, wanting more. Core League thrill, never the same. GT3 free fever, drive insane. Race through the night, the engines sing. Core GT3, feel the lightning. McLaren, Porsche, Audi's pride. Lamborghini screaming by your side. Ferrari, Ford, BMW, chasing victory, breaking through. legends meet. Can't be beat, 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 beat. McLaren 5, Porsche in the rear. On his battle cry you hear. Lamborghini Ford, the thrill alive.